Hello everyone, my name is Brock Hardcastle and today I'll be walking you through a little bit of my menstrual hygiene initiative that I carried out at Utah State University. But first, who am I and why was this important to me? So last year I was elected as the academic senator for the business school, and while I was campaigning for the position, I was approached by the Women in Business president, who made me aware of the situation that was going on at Utah State. Um, Currently, there are products available in female bathrooms, but you have to pay 25 cents in order to access them. So while I was happy we actually had access, I thought that there are great ways that we can build accessibility. Number one, because no one's carrying quarters nowadays, so how can we expect people just to have one? And then also kind of the bigger question of if we're not paying for toilet paper, why should we pay for feminine hygiene products? So I have a twin sister, so it kind of struck a chord with me thinking about it, and it really made me want to make a change. So I decided this year to start working and seeing how I could pull off this initiative. I knew I had to work with higher ups in the school, and so I tried contacting facilities, but after at some attempts with them, I realized that wasn't the best route to go, and I would have to go higher up. And so what that meant is I went over to Dr. James Morales and started conversations with him. I was backed by Megan Crosland, who was my advisor with USU SA, the Student Association here at the university, as well as Leanne Wappett, who is the advisor for the Women in Business Association. Our team wasn't super big, but everyone had critical pieces, whether it was support, helping me run ideas past them, or actually getting things done. The first thing that I did was identify the need. So we had dispensers, but were we able to retrofit those dispensers with something that would allow students to access the products for free, or would we need a whole dispenser entirely? In our case at Utah State, the dispensers are fairly free, and there was a part that we could purchase that would make these dispensers dispense products for free. So that's the route that we went. I'll talk about this later, but I talked with BYU. Their route is a little bit different, but with each university, it might pose a different problem. But this, for us, was a solution that worked, was just a retrofitting program. The next thing that we had to do was get counting. So I contacted facilities and asked them just a couple of questions so I would understand how many costs were associated with it. How often are these products used? Where are they located on campus? And how much money is spent on actually restocking them? For us, the best contact was our facilities director. It was great to have Dr. Morales on board with us, and so that he could prod the conversation forward when the line was getting a little less attended. The next thing that we had to do was calculate the costs. So there are two different calculations that we're working with. Number one was the upfront cost of actually retrofitting the dispensers, the one-time cost, but then we have those perpetual costs of how much we're going to spend on tampons every single year. So luckily for us, it was pretty easy to come up with those costs. Um, the recurring cost was just an estimate they gave us of about $600 at Utah State. That's how much money is used per year to restock tampons. The upfront costs were significantly higher, but luckily for us at Utah State, there is a fund called the Facilities Enhancement Fund, where students can actually send in proposals about enhancements that they want to see on campus. So I sent in a proposal that got accepted with these dispensers. So those implementations will be going on. And then Dr. Morales is taking care of finding funding for the perpetual costs. Until we find like a very permanent home for it, those funds will be coming out of his account that he's over. So glad that we were able to find a solution right now. We'll find a more sustainable one hopefully in the future, but at least we know it's being taken care of currently. The next thing that we had to do was schedule execution. Mostly this is reliant upon facilities, but with the grant, we contract and we sign on it getting done over the summer. And so those things, those changes to the female bathrooms will be made this summer. So hopefully by the time students come next school year, they will be able to see that those dispensers and female restrooms are accessible for free, which is really great. As I was working on this initiative, word got out, and I started getting requests from different news companies wanting to record the story. And as you can see, a number of different places, Utah Statesman, KSL, ABC, a lot of different places wanted to record it, and the response was overwhelmingly positive. I really was grateful and appreciative to see the response from university students here at Utah State supporting the initiative and seeing their response. It was really heartwarming. What was most impactful, I think, for me, though, we're seeing students from other universities reach out wanting to do similar programs at their own schools. So it's been really cool to see almost a snowball effect, and I hope to see even more of an effect as we move forward. But BYU, I've been working with, as well as a student at Penn State, to help them facilitate similar initiatives at their schools. So seeing that other students have been inspired by the project and are wanting to do similar things has been really, really special for me. But it doesn't end there. So there's still some work that we have to do at Utah State, and I am hoping to get the ball rolling on this. Though I won't be here next year, I still want to be kind of involved in the process. And so what I'm currently working on is getting free products at all of the Utah State statewide campuses, because we don't just have students here in Logan, we're all over the state. It's not always possible to get it at those statewide campuses because we don't always own the property which the university is using, but we're going to try to get these products free in as many locations as possible. We're also working with changing potentially the products that are being offered in order to have something that's a little bit more comfortable instead of kind of just the bare minimum. So we did a focus group last week on that. We're going to be going through the responses and seeing what students want, and then hopefully finding a better product suited for the needs of Utah State students. And that is pretty much the conclusion of this. Here are some resources that I use to help me through this process. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out via LinkedIn or also through my email. I would love to help anyone else that is looking to cause change, whether it be at Utah State University or in other universities across the globe. And so if there's anything I can be of use to help promote gender equity and making sure these resources are accessible, don't hesitate in reaching out. So thank you.